Life is a game, and if you know how to play it, you always win. You have these people that just play the game differently and they seem to win everything. And then you have people that no matter how hard they try, no matter how hard they practice, no matter how much time they put in, they just lose. Always. They always lose. The majority of people are slaves because they don't know how to play the game. And I will give you a strategy that will enable you to win this game once and for all. One strategy, one skill that will actually change your life, shift your reality entirely. You see, there are these secret societies, these secret places that have known this for a very long time, that have been talking about this for hundreds of years, that have been teaching this, but somehow people have put it away. The elites of the 21st century, they push these narratives away, they push these strategies of life away so that we, the peasants, don't get access to it, but I will be giving you this. Now, in order to understand how reality works, we have to understand the rules of reality itself, and they have done some research to reveal these rules to us. A research where they asked a couple of good-looking people to participate in this project. They would take the faces of these good-looking people and then they would, with makeup, make scars on their faces so that they would look ugly, so that they would look strange, scarred faces. And then after they did the makeup, they would show them a mirror where they could see themselves and see how ugly they were. And then these people would go out into the world. They would do job interviews and just regular things into the world. And right before they would go out in the world, the researchers would retouch the face a little bit to just make it a little bit more perfect. And then they would go out. And these people experienced something they've never experienced before. They suddenly saw how the world treated them very badly. They saw how people were just rude, how people were just misbehaving all of the time. During one of the job interviews, the participant was blown away how the job interviewer was critiquing her on her face, critiquing her on the scar. She couldn't believe it. How is this possible? Why are people so rude? Now, there's one problem with this whole experiment. Right before the participants went outside to their job interviews and life itself, the researchers quickly erased the makeup. There were no scars on their faces. It was all made up. These people that were normally very good looking believed that they had scars on their faces. And because of what they believed, their vibration, their frequency, the way they behaved into the world changed dramatically. And the way they behaved solicited these responses in life. And so suddenly people started treating them differently because of what they believed about themselves. This is the key to life itself. This is the key to life itself. The moment you understand this aspect of reality, you can use it to your advantage. And I learned how to use it to my advantage when I was studying in Germany and got access to one of these secret places, these secret society-like structures. So I'm studying in Germany. I'm a nobody and I don't know anyone. I feel lonely and sad and I want to experience something, and this is like some Erasmus thing going on. So I need to go back home a couple of months later and I need a story to tell. I can't just go home and not have experienced anything. And so I want to find people, I want to connect with people, I want to experience something real. And a couple of months earlier, I met people in Greece during some strange secret festival, like a rainbow gathering festival, very strange place. And I knew that these people were studying in Berlin. And I sent them a message. And I didn't got a message back. I sent them like, hey, I'm going to go to Berlin. Would love to meet you guys again. And nothing came back. And months went by in this Erasmus experience and nothing. I wasn't meeting anyone. I wasn't making any friends. I wasn't experiencing crazy events or anything like that. And suddenly out of nowhere, I get a message on my phone. Dries, come to this place, Silber. I'm not going to say the name of the place, but come to this place, 6 p.m. Friday. That was it. Now this is very interesting. What is going on here? What is going to happen? I go to that place, 6 p.m. and I arrive. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit shy. And the people there are absolute wackos. Just strange fucking people. Just the strangest people that you can imagine. And they are all very expressive. They are all very like extravagant. I open a particular door and there's like people that are barely dressed dancing. It's just a very strange place. And they are doing this thing. This is some kind of studentenverbinding about like a side thing on the normal student organization stuff. And they are doing this thing called Schlagerfechten. And it's a particular type of fighting where they have to fence each other. But it's fencing without protection. And so if people cut you, you get scars on your faces for the rest of your life. And so you are risking having that massive scar in your face for the rest of your life. And these guys, they just do that. It's crazy, wacko people that just go after each other. And what I learned there is that this high-level society, this high-level secretive place has a particular perspective on the scars. They don't look at the scars the same way other people look at the scars. If you have a scar like that in those places, it is a sign of honor. It is a sign that you were part of these societies. It is a sign that you were trained properly in these societies. It is a sign that you had the balls to risk everything, or risk your beauty at least, in these fencing arrangements. And so this is a very honorable thing to have in those places. And in those societies, you also meet particular people. You have network opportunities. A lot of high-level people come from these places, etc., etc., etc. Now, interestingly, if we compare this to the research that I shared earlier, we see something very peculiar. In the research, hot people who didn't have scars believed they had scars, and their entire life changed instantly. Instantly. People started to treat them very badly because they believed that they were ugly. In this particular scenario, these guys that I was meeting, these people were not ashamed at all. They believed the opposite. They believed that the scar on their face was a sign of honor. And because of that, they gained more strength. Because of that, they became somewhat superstars in the world. They started to behave like the world was made for them specifically. And so the narrative that you tell yourself, the way you look at your face, the way you look at your dress code, the way you look at your house, the way you look at your car, the way you look at your friends or your girlfriend or your paintings or your whatever, your products, anything, will determine the outcome you get in life. The same scar can turn a heaven in hell or a hell in heaven, depending on how you look at the scar. Now, the moment you understand this, you immediately know what needs to happen. You immediately know that you need to change the narrative in your life. You immediately know that you need to control what you believe about yourself. The moment you do that, life changes instantly. Let's take, for example, art. I'm talking to artists all of the time. A lot of them are really good. A lot of them have amazing art. Sometimes the work that I'm doing with them one-on-one is nothing more than changing their perspective about themselves. Where initially they charge $500 and then suddenly they charge $5,000 because of that shift that they experience when they start to tell themselves a different narrative. When they start to interact with people who find it normal to charge 5K or 10K. And here's the thing. Some of these guys, some of these artists have amazing art. Amazing art. It's extremely good. But they believe it's ugly. They believe it's not good enough. And if they believe it's not good enough, and then they are making posts on Instagram, then they are making videos on YouTube, then they are making videos on TikTok, they will slowly and steadily sabotage themselves because they're afraid of what might happen. They are afraid of success because they believe their art is ugly. And if they believe their art is ugly, and they would gain success, they would get a lot of views, then they believe in their fantasy that they would get a lot of critique, and they don't want to get a lot of critique. And so they sabotage their own success. Their entire life is sabotaged by the story they tell themselves. Just like the people in the experiment. Their lives started to sabotage, or started to transform, and destroy because of the story they told themselves about their faces and the scars. And so, no matter how good your art is, if you don't have the right perspective about your art, your success will just never happen. So then the question becomes, how do you change the narrative you tell yourself? How do you change what you believe about yourself? How do you change what happened when you were 6 years old and people started to bully you because you had very big ears? And then when you were 20 or 25, you grew long hair because you wanted to protect your ears from being visible. You grew hats or anything that could protect you for the rest of your life, like until you were 50 years old. You became a gothic so that you could have long hair just because of what happened when you were 6 years old. How can you change that narrative? Well, I've tried many things in the past. I've tried meditation. I've tried journaling, where I would write down appreciation journal type of sections where I just appreciate what I had or positive things about life or whatever. I've tried many things, and the thing is that all of them work. Meditation works. Journaling works. I recommended one of the artists that I work with to start hanging the work that they make in their own home. They had difficulties doing that. Beautiful works of art. They had difficulties doing that because they just didn't felt the art was deserving of being hung in their own home. Of course they were not going to market it. Of course nobody would hang it in other homes if they wouldn't even hang it in their own home. And so a lot of these strategies that you catch on in life, they just work. But you have to start doing that. You have to actually do something. You have to actually meditate. You have to actually do the journaling exercise that you wanted to do for so long but postponed on. Now, alternatively, what you can do, this is a different strategy, a shortcut that will get you towards a particular result, but it's different. You'll see. Alternatively, what you could do is make sure that you get access to a particular process where if you follow the process, the outcome is guaranteed. So that nervousness or the belief that you have about yourself doesn't actually matter and can get an impact. It can have an impact. And you will get the result with certainty. For example, if you want to get jacked, there is a particular set of things that you can do. A particular set of food that you can eat, a particular set of exercise that you can follow that will get you jacked. No matter what happens, no matter what idea you have about yourself, you will get that result. And so what you then want to do is, of course, follow that process. You get access to the process, you get access to the formula, and then you follow that formula. Simple. Now, when recording this video and publishing this video, it's obviously Black Friday, which means that you will get some discounts on my programs, my formulas, where you can, without having a particular idea about yourself, just get the results. You just execute on the steps, and then you get the desired result. So please check it out. Black Friday discounts, massive amounts of discounts. I don't normally give a lot of discounts, okay? This is still a really, really good thing for you. Click the link in the description. That said, get the hell out of here.